The next step after I landed from Sydney was I had about a month and then, or a month or two, and then I was having a massive spine surgery.
Hmm.
So we graduated in May. And I think I was booked in for surgery June 22nd, I think it was, or June 27th. I remember I was actually over in America when I got the email from the surgeon. I was sitting with Soren in the cafe. I was going through my emails, and then an email came up from the doctor's office, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I clicked on it, and it was, "Hi, Jeremy. Hope you're well. Just letting you know we've got a scheduled surgery date for June 22nd." And I was like, "Oh wow, like this is happening." And I was like, "Wowzers." So yeah, graduated, went on a bit of a holiday, got to enjoy Southern California with you and you and Stat for a few days.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was a good trip.
that was a good trip. Then went over to Washington, DC, Virginia, New York, came home, and I had just under a month, I think it was, before my spine surgery. And so that was really what the next big thing for me was getting through this spine surgery, not knowing what life would be like after. Um, I was actually told by one of the specialists, not the surgeon. So I saw a specialist beforehand. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to take you about a year to learn how to walk again."
Wow.
So I was like, "All right, well, there goes the next year of my life."
So let me
I
let me
go,
let me stop on that for a sec, because I know what it feels like to get that type of news, like news that
mm,
literally halting your life. What what happens in your head? You hear the next year you're going to be learning to walk.
mm.
What's going on in there?
Probably the biggest thing was, do I really need this surgery?
Sure. So doubt.
Yeah, it was, do I want to go ahead with it? Is it necessary? I mean, I've lived 21 years of my life as it is.
Mm.
Like, surely I can live another 21 or more without it. Um, and so, yeah, that definitely was what was going through my mind is, all right, I'm not going to learn how to walk. And as you said, I love my cricket, I love my sports. And I was like, all right, am I willing to give up that for a year?
Yeah.
Um, but something like, obviously the first thing you do is you pray about it. And even as you said, when you were going through that recent trial of yours, the first thing you said was, "Hey, I'm going to pray." And so that's what we did. We just prayed about it, and I just had this weird peace about it, just saying, "Don't worry, just
Mm.
go ahead with it."
Mm.
Um, and so, despite that, I like, not saying it wasn't true, but I knew in the back of my head, all right, worst case scenario, I'm going to have a year that's gone.
Yeah.
I wasn't really planning anything after the surgery. I wasn't planning where I was going to work. I wasn't planning study. It was, all right, I'm going to have the surgery, and I've got a year to get my life back together again.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a weird thing to go through. I mean, I remember from the multiple surgeries I had, there was you're not going back to normal life for 6 months,
Mm.
and that was a weird hit because it was just unexpected. Wasn't something that we considered before that.
Yeah.
And then there was the eye surgery I had, and the doctor says to me, "Listen, you're going to go blind in that eye."
Wow.
And that was full on. That next hour, I remember just bawling my eyes out driving home, thinking. And then I just started looking up eye patches on eBay. It was like, I might as well, try to
Make
get
the most of it.
yeah, try to get used to this. Start finding some eye patches. But it's
Yeah.
funny what your mind goes through that sort of news, because it takes you somewhere that I don't think you've considered before.
Mm.
It shows you, I guess, what type of person you are. Like mine was, okay, I've got to start planning for this, I've got to start looking for things to make the best of it. Yours was, do I really need to do this, and starting to weigh up pros and cons, but then
Mm.
ultimately finding peace in just acceptance and moving forward with it. It's interesting because I don't think everyone goes through the exact same thing when they get news like that.
Mm. Yeah, I think everyone deals with it differently, and everyone comes out with a different outcome.